Here is a clean, YouTube-style rewritten version, same message, smoother flow, more engaging, no added info. Alright, fellas, it's actually happening. Jake Paul vs Anthony Joshua is officially on. I can't believe I'm even saying this, but Paul and AJ are set to face off in a professional heavyweight bout in just 1 month. Ever since the Tank fight was cancelled, rumors started flying that something big was coming, but I genuinely thought the barriers that stopped this matchup the first time around were way too big to overcome on such short notice. But when money talks, everything suddenly becomes possible. Now we're only 4 weeks away from one of the most shocking matchups boxing has ever seen. With this news hitting the internet, we need to break down everything we know so far. How did this fight even get made? Why is it happening now? And most importantly, what should we expect once the bell rings? For Jake Paul, this is by far the biggest and toughest fight of his entire career. Just a couple of weeks ago, he was preparing for a lightweight opponent. Now, after the cancellation, he finds himself staring across the ring at one of the faces of the heavyweight division. Calling this situation wild doesn't even begin to cover it. But with Jake Paul, chaos has become the norm. When the Tank fight fell apart, Jake put his team in a nearly impossible position. Netflix wasn't going to sign off on another event unless Jake had a huge name standing opposite him. On 1 month's notice, finding a replacement as big as Tank, or even bigger, seemed nearly impossible. Most fans, including me, expected a dull opponent swap. Maybe a Nate Diaz rematch, maybe someone like Andre Ward, just a safe name to keep things moving. So when I first heard rumors of Jake Paul vs Anthony Joshua, I assumed it was just clever promotion, something to keep hype alive before a more realistic announcement. But negotiations that failed earlier this year are now magically back from the dead. What originally stopped the fight was AJ being locked into an exclusive situation that prevented him from fighting on Netflix. But clearly, the money involved now is on a completely different level. Netflix seems to have slammed the door open with an insane offer. The timing also lined up perfectly. Joshua hasn't fought since last September when he was knocked out by Daniel Dubois. His return kept getting delayed, and Eddie Hearn wanted to get him active again before a rumored Tyson Fury fight next year. They planned for a simple tune-up fight in December. Nobody expected that easy fight to actually be Jake Paul. And yet, here we are, with what may end up being one of the biggest paydays of AJ's career. Netflix has flexed its true power to make the impossible happen. Think about how wild this is. The fight is being promoted as Jake Paul vs Anthony Joshua. Joshua, the former unified heavyweight world champion, is now the B-side. That alone tells you how crazy the influencer boxing era has become. Now, what should we expect in the ring? It's simple. Anthony Joshua should knock Jake Paul out cold. Anything less is a win for Jake. After what AJ did to Ngannou, if he somehow fails to stop Jake Paul, it would be a massive embarrassment. This is a real, sanctioned professional fight with standard rules. No gimmicks. No shortcuts for Jake. Just 8 3-minute rounds with a prime-size heavyweight who hits like a truck. Jake technically has a puncher's chance, but realistically, even that's generous. He was cutting weight for a lightweight fight, and now he has 4 weeks to bulk up and fight a giant. When he fought Tyson and tried to fight as a heavyweight, he looked slow, sloppy, and out of his element. It's hard to imagine him looking better against AJ. If Jake gets knocked out, it could end up becoming the viral boxing moment of the decade. But even then, it won't finish him. This is the same guy who lost to a Love Island star in Tommy Fury and still managed to rebuild his reputation to the point where he now has a fight with one of the biggest commercial names in the sport. If Jake loses, they'll simply turn it into the comeback story arc, him chasing a world title, or the inevitable showdown with KSI. Just stepping into the ring with Anthony Joshua will give him respect from casual fans. Whether people agree or not, the narrative will be, he dared to step in with AJ. In reality, there's not much risk here for Jake outside of the physical danger. He's still getting paid millions, he's still securing headlines, and he's still pushing himself deeper into mainstream boxing. Love him or hate him, Jake Paul has pulled off one of the most bizarre but successful marketing runs the sport has ever seen. 5 years ago, if I told you a YouTuber would fight Anthony Joshua, you would have called me insane. Yet here we are. Jake Paul went from Disney kid to one of boxing's top attractions, all without fighting many real boxers. And it all becomes even more real this Friday when the first press conference kicks off. Expect Jake to pull some kind of stunt. They've only got a few weeks to promote this fight, so he'll try something viral. Honestly, I don't even know what to think at this point. It's insane, but nothing in boxing surprises me anymore. Now I want to hear what you think. How do you see this fight going? Does Jake stand any chance, or is AJ about to run through him? Drop your predictions in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, it helps the channel a ton. Thanks for watching, fellas, and I'll catch you in the next one.